going to be doing the story of the young slave girl and Naaman, and we're also going to be making these really cool paper plate masks. They're going to be like of animals or like anything else that we want to make them of, and of any character, of animals, whatever we want. And we're also going to be doing some drawings related to the story, of course, like we always do. So stay tuned so you guys can tune in and watch us do all these fun activities and drawings and listen to the story also. So without any further ado, let's get started! So once upon a time, a very long time ago, there was this girl, and in the Bible, her name isn't really mentioned, so we call her, and she was a slave. And the people in the army had enslaved her, and they had brought her from Israel, and there was a group of army soldiers, and they brought a group of people that they wanted to enslave, and take as slaves with themselves home. So they enslaved them and took them home with them, and then they just used to work in their home and do whatever they want. They used to be like servants and helpers for the people in the army. So there was just one man in the army. He was a chief, and his name was Naaman. And he used to suffer from leprosy. And if you guys don't know what leprosy is, it's basically this disease, an illness. There's no cure for it. And it's basically that your skin has these white spots on it, almost like it's bleached. And it has these white spots all over your face and your body and your hands. And that's what leprosy is. And so that army officer had it, and no one really knew about it except his family, because he used to wear those army uniform, and nobody could really see it, and it was like full covered, and so no one could see, his leprosy. So he wanted to cure it, but it was obvious it wasn't curable. There was no cure for it. So the slave he had brought with himself from Israel, that young slave girl, was one time, she saw him with his leprosy, and she told his wife that, you could go to this prophet named Elisha, and he can heal your leprosy for you. And so he was like, okay, there's nothing to lose. So she told his wife that, I've seen how my master suffers from leprosy, and maybe there's this prophet, and he could definitely cure it for you. The young slave girl told her master that, I saw how your husband has leprosy, and you could go to Prophet Elisha to, get a cure for it, because he can definitely heal you. And, the little slave girl used to believe in God, and she loved God. And even though she was a slave, and even though, some people forced, worshiping themselves to her, but she still used to worship God and believe in God. And that's why she suggested to Naaman that you should probably go to Prophet Elisha so you could get cure for your leprosy. So he was like, okay, there's nothing to lose. Maybe I should go, and maybe I can get rid of my leprosy. So he went to the king, and he got orders. He told the king that I need to go to Prophet Elisha for this, and I need, because he didn't tell the king about his leprosy. He just went, the king gave orders, and he sent a message to Israel that, one of my soldiers is coming here, army member, Prophet Elisha. And so, the king of Israel got to know, and all the people in the court knew this army that Naaman was coming there to, get a cure for his leprosy. But they just knew that he was coming to visit Prophet Elisha. Then Prophet Elisha got to know about the soldiers that was coming from the other country to him. And he told him that, I have leprosy, and I need you to help me out with it. And he was like, okay, he didn't even come outside. They were just talking through the door. And at that time, they were going through a famine, and they had shortage of food and water, and there were a lot of people that were dying because of starvation. So Prophet Elisha was praying to God that he can help us out, and, because so many people are dying, and he was praying with one of his disciples. So while he was praying, he got to know, and then he didn't come out. He was just talking through Naaman through the door. And they were talking to each other, and Naaman took this in a bad way, and he was like, he didn't even come to greet me or say hi, and, give me a proper way, and I'm like this soldier, and I'm on such a high post, I'm one of the chief army officials. And so he took a lot of offense to that. Prophet Elisha told him to do was to go to River Jordan and dip in the river for 7 times, okay? So he was like, I'm not going to do this, because he was highly offended by what Prophet Elisha did. And then some people told him that, you should try it out, because what if you get rid of your leprosy? And he was like, okay, I should probably do it. So he went to River Jordan, and then he did as Prophet Elisha said, and his leprosy was gone. He was very happy, and when he went back to Prophet Elisha, where he was staying and living, he went back over there, and he brought a bunch of gifts. He brought some silver and some clothes and for the prophet, and he didn't accept it because he was like, God helped you with it, doing this, and this was God's miracle, so I cannot accept any of these. But his disciple got greedy, and after he left, he hadn't even gone too far right now, Naaman, and he followed Naaman, and he was like, hey, can you, listen to me for a second? He was like, yeah, sure. And he was like, Naaman was like, what do you want? And the disciple was like, actually, there's a few guests that just came over, and I need you to give me those gifts that you were giving me before. And the master told me to give you, to receive those gifts from you. And he was like, okay, because he was already giving it to them, before too. So he gave the disciple the gifts that he had brought for Elisha and the disciple. So he gave it to him, and so he got very greedy. And so when Naaman was leaving, before he left, he assured Elisha that now I fully believe in God and Jehovah, and now I would only praise God, and because of my job that I have, I'm going to have to act like I worship all those other idols and kings, but I truly am now a follower of God, and I only believe in him. And Elisha was like, okay, I think that's okay since your job, and you will lose your job because of it. So he kept on worshiping God and following the path of God, but he had to play it off as if he was still worshiping the idols. So he gave him the gifts, and when Elisha found out about this, he cursed his disciple and all of his future generations, to have leprosy. And he was like, now you're going to have leprosy instead of that guy because you disobeyed and you got greedy, and you shouldn't have. So he cursed all of his generations and him with leprosy. And that's the end of today's story. So now we're moving on to our drawings for today. So let's get started. Okay, guys, so we are back now, and we have our drawings in front of us. So yeah, I drew the little slave girl, the young slave girl, and her master, the Naaman's wife. And Zayin, what did you draw?
I drew the little girl. I drew Naaman.
No, this is not the little girl. These are two people that were watching Naaman.
Okay, and this is Naaman. This is
and
a horse.
So Zayin drew these two people that were witnessing his miracle happening, and Naaman, who was, dipping himself in River Jordan. So yeah. So now we're gonna get started, and we've already outlined them and lined them and inked them, or whatever you want to call it. And so now we're gonna get started by coloring. So yeah. Okay, guys, so we are back now, and we have our drawings already and done with us. So we're going to be showing you guys them in 3, 2, 1. So here are our drawings. So I'm going to go first, or Zayin, you can go first, actually.
I drew Naaman, and then I'm making a little pink thingy.
That actually witnessed the drawing. These are two people that witnessed the miracle happening, that were with him over there in River Jordan, near River Jordan, and this is Naaman dipping himself in River Jordan for 7 times so he can get rid of his leprosy. So now I'm going to be showing you guys what my drawing looks like. So this is the little slave girl, and this is her master, and I drew them both talking about their her husband's leprosy, Naaman's leprosy, and how she was telling her master how Naaman could probably go to Prophet Elisha and talk to him, and he'd probably pray for him, and his leprosy would be cured, and he wouldn't have leprosy anymore. They're just talking, and I drew this nice little window in the back, and there's a bunch of greenery here, and there's this little throw pillow here that matches the little slave girl's jumpsuit, or whatever you want to call it, dress. And the master, as you can see, she's wearing a lot of gold since she's so rich. And yeah. That's my drawing. Okay, guys, so we are back now, and we have some of our supplies in front of us, so we can start, with our activity for today. So we're going to be making these really cool little masks out of paper plates. So we both used only one plate, and they had a weird happy birthday design in the actual front side. But we used the back, and that's what we're supposed to use. And we cut the one plate in half because we don't want a ginormous thingy. We just want a little something. This is mine, and this is what Zayin's looks like. I'm going to be helping Zayin out. So Zayin cut out these 2 ears for the bears. I'm making a bear, and I'm making this unicorn one. I'm going to be helping Zayin out, and I'm going to be like, this paint, it's a little hard, but we're just going to be painting this. And I'm going to be painting mine like this blue color, or like maybe I'm going to leave it white, I don't know, like maybe a pink or purple. So we're just going to paint these, and we'll be back. And remember, you guys can also follow us along, of course. So we're going to be painting these first, right? So you can paint them whatever color you want. It could be any color, of course. I'm making a unicorn. I'm taking a brown bear. And so I'm going to be helping Zayin out, and I'm going to be painting Zayin's like this brown color. I don't know what I'm going to do for mine. It may be a brown, sorry, not a brown. This is what the unicorn looks like so far. The mane is here, and I also have its horn pasted up. And now we're just going to be doing ears. So this is the ear for like left ear and the right ear. So we're going to start with the left one, and we're just going to flip it up because I don't want like everyone to see the thing, right? So I'm just going to be putting a tiny little dab of glue right over here. And okay, almost done. And we're going to be putting it up here. Okay, that's our first ear, and then we're going to be doing our second ear. So here's what it looks like. Now the last step is putting on a little popsicle stick, or even like a little straw, anything kind of stick that you can hold your mask up with. So I'm going to be putting those on, and yeah. Okay guys, so we are back now, and we have our little masks with us. So you can always put like a little stick or whatever you want to hold like it up, you know, but we decided not to. You can of course like customize it whatever like way you want to.
Use elastic or anything, make 2 holes, and even an act mask and strap it on.
Yeah, do whatever you want to. So now I'm going to be walking you guys through what we made and how we made them. So Zayin, you can go first.
I think we kind of made this like a kawaii cute bear. I pasted these ears on it that I made out of some brown felt. I decided to go with kind of like a light brown for it to make it kind of like look a bit more kawaii, more cute. And I drew this little nose. I made it black right here because I thought it would look cute black. And I also made some blush to make it look kawaii. So yeah.
So now here's what my unicorn looks like. So I made these eyelashes for the eyes. I just thought it would look kind of nice. And I used an oil paint because I couldn't find like a color that I thought would look good that was acrylic. So I used an oil paint, and it was like the marker wasn't working on the oil paint, but I still kind of like, you know, made it work. And then we made these cute little white blush thingies, circles. And then I have its little mane, so it's blue and pink, which I really like. And then I made the horn, and it's like golden, which I thought would add like a nice pop of color. So yeah. So the moral of today's story is we need to help other people that do not believe in God, or you know, their faith is weak. We need to help them out and help them walk on the right path, just like the little slave girl helped Naaman and his family, you know, find the right path and start following and worshiping God. So just like that, we also need to help out other people so they can also seek forgiveness, salvation, righteousness, and healing. So, you know, and their families can start believing in God, worshiping God, and so they can seek all of these things. And that's the moral of today's story. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to comment below the moral of today's story. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And give this video a big, big, huge thumbs up. Also turn on the post notification bell so you get notified every single time we post or upload a new video.
See you guys tomorrow at the Temple of God Church Sunday School.
Stay safe. God bless you. Bye.